Good morning, or excuse me, afternoon, everyone. It is Remy with Dream Living Homestead, and it's another garden tour. I've already taken the clip of my garden at work. And I don't remember, I'll have to go back and double check, but a couple of the tomatoes I went ahead and pruned back pretty well. I also added cages to all of them, and then I also grabbed and cut a couple of what suckers is what they like to call them, and replanted them in 2 new pots. So I have, I believe, 9 of them over there. 9 over there, and then I have 2 cherry tomatoes, well actually 1 blooming cherry tomato, and then another set that I had just planted. Also here in the balcony, or on the balcony, I ripped out the 2 strawberry plants. I've also ripped out the nasturtium and some of the other plants that were growing randomly throughout the salad bar, and I'm gonna go ahead and plant some of the lettuce. And also I want to put more basil, and because I find that I like the herbs a lot. So a couple of the things that I have been researching over the last week is what are good items to plant in small spaces. I don't have a lot of room, at least here on the balcony. So I thought, and after doing a lot of research, there was a few items that everyone had agreed upon. The first one was tomatoes. And these are all good for small balcony areas, but also sort of high yielding plants, so you'll get kind of bang for your buck type thing. So tomatoes, cucumbers, green beans, peppers. They talked about herbs, and I think those were like the top few that I had noticed on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and stick to that and see if that works better for me as far as space wise, because I really have not a whole lot of space. I'm also gonna go ahead and I pulled out my bell peppers and put them into smaller pots so I could actually stick them where there's a little bit more sun. And I'm also probably, I haven't figured it out yet. There's the only thing that's left planted in this big blue thing where the green peppers were, or the pepper plants were, is a radish. And I don't know if I just want to just suck it up, cut my losses, and get rid of this big planter and find something that's a little more space efficient. So I haven't figured it out, but those are the things that I've done throughout this week. It's been a bit of a hectic week, so I'm going to apologize again. I know this is going to be coming out late, which is kind of a pain, but I've added more soil to the salad bar, I found some slugs, some baby slugs in the salad bar on my arugula the other day when I was picking some to make my salads. So I put some diatomaceous earth on this, and hopefully that'll stop them from chewing on my plants, because I'm really liking the way this basil plant looks. So I think I'm going to plant some more basil in this little area. And I don't have any parsley or mint, but I know mint's pretty prolific, so I'm going to leave that there. I also do want to grow some more kale. That is one of my favorites, I have to say. Kale, young kale, it tastes so much better to me. And plus I can always dehydrate all this stuff. So there's a lot of plans that I have: canning, dehydrating, and then also salt packing some of the herbs, because I've been also looking into that, and that looks kind of cool, that I want to give that a shot. But anyways, I'm going to show you guys around the garden, and I'll also show you the garden that I have over at work, and I'll see you at the end of this. Okay, so as you can see, I still have my rosemary, and then the some of the arugula. I am eating some of that, but you can see the diatomaceous earth that I put on there. Here is the purple basil. But if you can remember back here, I had a bunch of weird things that people thought were nightshade, part of the potato plant. I pulled all of that out. I just got tired of looking at it, and it looked like a hot mess. Same thing over here. I pulled all of the nasturtium, added some more soil, and then I'm going to go ahead and replant some of the stuff that I talked to you about. Here is my basil. I'm hoping that this grows back I don't know what the heck that is. It's creeping me out. Spiders galore over here. I swear there's so many spiders around here. Ugh. Spiders are just gross. So, I mean, look at this. I need to cut this. I need to cut some more. I'm gonna probably come here at some point this week. So my goal this week is to cut some of this back, to cut some more of this, and then also clean this poor baby up and get that cleaned up so I can have some sage that I can dry out. Here is my green bean plant, which you can see. I've got a few green beans, but they're not quite ready. Although, just notice the leaves are looking a little funky. I don't know what that is. Let's look at that. Here, I mean, these things are growing cucumbers like crazy, but I'm just not getting full growth. If anyone can explain to me what the heck I am doing wrong, or maybe I should cut these all off and then try and let it grow back. But please, somebody, tell me what I'm doing wrong so that I can actually get some cucumbers. This is another one that I've been thinking about just calling it quits on and retrying it again at some point down the line, because I do like my cucumbers. It's my parsley. Here, I brought this over here and I cut the jalapeno plant back, and I'm gonna go ahead and see if this grows back. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed. My habaneros, you can see I got a few, but they're not turning the color orange. Here is the thing, that I mean, I'm looking for it. I'm waiting on it to grow. Here is another, I think this is part of the Fresno chili plant. I cut parts of this off and I stuck it in water to see, and then it started growing roots. So I stuck it in this little thing here, and hopefully it grows some more. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed. Here is the Thai basil back here, excuse me. Been doing a lot of work in here, so I'm gonna apologize for the mess that I got going on. Here is the Fresno chili, and this one's still growing pretty well. And I tell you what, I am out here every morning checking to make sure I have no hornworms. I saw a moth around here the other day. Here is my potato plants. And this is that one that I was telling you. This is just the radish plant, but I pulled all the bell peppers, or the pepper plants, and I put them in here. And I'm gonna see if they're gonna grow, because they've just been sitting there doing nothing. This is pretty much as big as it's gotten. Here is my zucchini plant. This is another one that is just not doing anything for me. And I think it's just not getting pollinated. I could be wrong, but I'll keep my fingers crossed, and maybe I'll come out here at some point with a Q-tip and try hand pollinating myself. My Tabasco plant. Turnips, which are starting to grow, but they're pretty much not doing a whole lot. Again, I think I'm gonna pull these and just get rid of these two. Actually, I'll probably bring this big container to work and use that for something. This one I may just use as a compost bin and put it somewhere. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. My hot banana, which it's not producing anything right now, and I will tell you, I did notice that it's a hybrid, so I'm wondering if it's just been capped off, and that's just, those few that I got were all that I was gonna get. And then here is my poor cherry tomato plant. Now up top it looks really good, but down here it doesn't look quite so good right there in that area. Probably need to bring it down and take and see what I can do to help it out. I don't know. And then here's the broccoli plant. This broccoli right here is really starting to take off. So I've been keeping it where it's at because it seems to like these area. And I just noticed, I see a bunch of something on the back of these. Yeah, I got a bunch of aphids back here. I'm gonna come in here and get rid of these. Try and get rid of those today. Actually, I will get rid of that. Look at that. But that's it. Not a whole lot, but I have felt like I've done a lot. I tell you what, this week has been busy for me. I felt exhausted over the weekend, but I will have it cleaned up much better next week when I show you guys again what I've got, and then I'll tell you what I've actually decided to plant in these little areas right here. Haven't figured it out yet. Okay, so we're gonna start you off with this one. This is the one that my coworker gave me, and as you can see, I did cut the one piece off right there, but the rest of it is growing beautifully. This one I brought from home. It needs a little bit of water. It looks to be drooping a little bit, but this one's doing well. I have had to take some of the flowers off of this to keep it from blooming too many tomatoes too soon. I want it to get a little bit bigger before I allow it to produce its fruit. This is another one that I also brought from home. I honestly don't remember what this one is. I don't remember what this one is either. So these two I grew from seed. As you can see, I put a little diatomaceous earth on them because I had that issue with hornworm last week. Not so much today. Here is the San Marzano plants. And I've got a ton growing right here. So I got those 4 in the cluster, and then I got another one over here. This is a better bush. I've never heard of this, but better bush, but it's also producing some fruit. Where is it? Sorry. Right there. And then I also have one right there. But this one is one of the other ones that I got. Between these takes, I'm actually watering these plants right now before it gets too hot. But this is the watermelon one, and look, we finally have a watermelon. It's actually grown quite a bit in the last couple of days. We got that one, but this is growing really well. And then we have another one down here. Right here. This is my beefsteak tomato, and this one's finally getting to be producing more fruit. I can't wait to see this one and how big this one gets. I'm excited. This is the heirloom one. Now I've only gotten 3. This is my 3rd one right here. Tomatoes, but the rest of them I haven't gotten any. But if you can see, there's more foliage growing, so I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that it likes being out here better. Here's the green onions, which is doing well. I've actually used a couple of these and they're really good. And then here is my squash plant, which I got 2 growing right now, and they seem to finally be doing well because they were like getting gross at the end. So I wonder if I was just not watering it enough. Okay guys, so that's pretty much it. We're gonna keep it short and simple because I do have a lot of stuff going on in the kitchen. The corn was still on sale, so I went and grabbed probably another 25 ears of that, and I am gonna get that processed tonight. And also the green beans were on sale for a decent price, and I went ahead and I actually have my son in there cutting the ends off and cutting it in half so I can pack those into jars and preserve those tonight too. I have a few other plans this week, and I'll probably take you along on one of those, so I won't go too into depth with that. But once again, I do appreciate you guys stopping by. There's going to be another video suggestion for you up top, and then a subscribe button below. If you do like it, please hit the bell for all notifications, and then I will see you guys again on Wednesday. Have a great week.